Hi, my name is Bob Brennaman with the Brennaman Group here in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. I'm a realtor, and today we're going to take you guys on a tour of Mount Pleasant. This is a follow-up video to a video I did a couple of years ago. The goal of today's video is more or less to give you guys an understanding of what has happened over the last several years in Mount Pleasant that makes it one of the best communities in Charleston, and honestly, in my opinion, one of the best communities to live in the Southeast. I hope you guys enjoy the tour. Hop in the car. All right, y'all, as we head out to do this tour, I think it's important to start with what really has happened in Mount Pleasant since last time we shot this video. The road work is pretty much done. The area that we're looking at right now, they widened to 3 lanes. You can see a lot of the landscaping through here. They put bike trails over to our right on the access roads, and they put sidewalk up, which I think makes Mount Pleasant's walk score, if you keep up with that, has to go up tremendously because of the sidewalks they put in. And they have gone with the sidewalks from the foot of the bridge in Mount Pleasant all the way up past where we'll go today. So it's about a 6-mile stretch of road that's been sidewalked. What this has done, this road work through here, not only has made things look better, but it has also made getting to downtown Charleston and getting back into Mount Pleasant so much easier. I mean, I've lived in Mount Pleasant for, I guess, almost 25 years now, and what we have seen as far as what this road work has done has been pretty amazing, in my opinion, because it has made things so much simpler to get around here, even at peak traffic hours. And I have a low tolerance for traffic, and it's amazing. I would have never thought that this road work would have had as good of impact as it has had on the area as far as moving things through here. One of the big drawing cards to Mount Pleasant is the shopping. Mount Pleasant has more grocery stores per capita than any place in the United States, and it seems like we continue to add grocery stores. A couple new ones slated for this year. You can see over to our left we have a Whole Foods. Right past the Whole Foods is a very popular grocery store called Trader Joe's. I really don't know how Trader Joe's manages to do it because they sell their product at such an unbelievable price. And if you have a Trader Joe's, you know what I'm talking about, but it's just a top-notch grocery store chain. As we progress through the Coleman Boulevard district, you're going to see some things that have changed. One of the things that have changed since the last time we came out and shot this was the Mount Pleasant Kayak Park has opened. The town of Mount Pleasant very smartly bought up a bunch of land during the downturn in the economy, and they have taken that and they have developed these parks. And Shem Creek Park is the park that is over here to our right. Basically is docks that go out into Charleston Harbor. There are places in which you can picnic, hang out, and more importantly, push a kayak out if that's something you want to do. It does tie into Shem Creek, which we've talked about in the past. It's a great place to watch the sunset, hang out on the weekends and during the summer. If you're going to check out restaurants, 2 of the restaurants that I recommend, one would be Red Drum. And Red Drum is kind of like a southwestern, low country style restaurant, and it's on Coleman Boulevard. We also really like Opal restaurant. Opal is one of the better spots in all of Charleston. And I think the chef who runs that restaurant does not get nearly the press that he deserves, but he has 2 restaurants in Mount Pleasant. One is Opal, the other is Langdon's, and I can highly recommend both of those as good places to eat. As we progress down Coleman Boulevard, you can see that they have finished the farmers market, which runs about 6 months out of the year, 6 or 7 months out of the year. It's tied into Moultrie Middle School, which is one of the better middle schools in the area, and it ties in further to what we're going to drive to next, which is part of the Coleman Boulevard Revitalization project, and it's called the Boulevard, ironically. And it is live-work space, a lot of apartments, restaurants, and they're starting to put pocket parks through here and line it with trees. Again, the goal of what the town of Mount Pleasant's doing with Coleman Boulevard is to kind of turn this into the center part of Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant sprawls out, but the town developers, people that manage the town of Mount Pleasant, want this to be a central part that really is the anchor for this area. So a lot of construction going to be going on in the future, and a lot, honestly, has gone on in the last couple of years. All right, we're heading off of Coleman Boulevard. We're actually on the beginning of Interstate 526. If you stayed straight here, you'd end up in North Charleston, then headed towards Savannah that way. We're going to veer off and go to the north part of Mount Pleasant and check some of that out. And also, as we drive, wanted to talk about the nearly $100 million that they've spent on road work through here. We spoke about it earlier about the widening of 3 lanes, but I think it's important if you're trying to figure out an area to move to is to really look at the infrastructure. And the infrastructure in Mount Pleasant right now is in really good shape. It's made a huge difference in the amount of time it takes us to get from one end of Mount Pleasant to the other. As we continue to progress up 17, the bridge that's going over off of 526 will take you straight out to Isle of Palms. So it's really made it easier for people that are coming to the beach to get there, and made it easier for people that are trying to get to different parts of Mount Pleasant not to get bogged down on Highway 17. They just fly over it now as opposed to the way that it used to be set up. We're going to stop in here to the town center, not to be confused with the center of town. It's just the name of the development. And it has a Lowe's, has lots of restaurants, and a lot of more or less big box type department stores. It more or less is an outdoor mall. And a lot of people now come to Mount Pleasant to shop here because there's just a lot of opportunities to get what you want in one place. And you can do it, most of the time you can do it in good weather. All right, still inside of the town center, rolling around, you can see directly in front of us is the Regal Cinemas. Really nice movie theater adjacent to a wine store that we're a member of. Really like what they do. You've got Sweet Juleps, nice candy place right next to the movie theater. And then you've got, again, some retail, like bigger national companies. And then you have some mom and pop stuff, which makes it, I think, kind of cool as far as your shopping environment goes. We are heading into Seaside Farms. Seaside Farms is really close to the Isle of Palms connector. And we didn't go out there this time, but Mount Pleasant sits very close to two beaches. One's on Sullivan's Island, and that's off Coleman Boulevard. And then Isle of Palms is right off of the Isle of Palms connector, which is over here to our left. Ride you through here to kind of show you some of the shopping. More shopping. This, again, is not the town center, it's Seaside Farms. And it goes right past one of my, again, favorite restaurants in the area is Opal. Some of the best fresh pasta that you can get in Charleston is at that restaurant right there. Across the way is Basil, which, is good. It has, I think it's kind of expensive, honestly, for Thai food, but it's really good, and it's got some beautiful views off the back of the restaurant. This has really started to become redeveloped again. When the economy crashed, a lot of businesses, unfortunately, didn't make it, and, some of them, honestly, would not have made it had they been in a good economy. They had bad business plans. But you can see through here a lot of new construction starting. They're adding on to the grocery stores, building more restaurants, and Seaside Farms is a very popular place to live. Most of it was built in the early 2000s. There's a few lots left back in the neighborhood that ties into the shopping center we're pulling out of, and a lot of those are waterfront and fairly high priced. If we went right here at the stop sign, that would take us directly out to Isle of Palms, but we're gonna go left and head on out to North Mount Pleasant and check out a couple of neighborhoods out there that are, some of them that are new and a couple of them that have been here for a while that we did not cover last time we went out and did this. Okay, we are in the north part of Mount Pleasant, out by Oakland Plantation over here to our right. You probably can't see anything but trees. It's like a lot of stuff in Mount Pleasant. It's cut back behind trees. It's zoned where you necessarily can't see it from the road. It's more or less for aesthetics, but you've got a ton of shopping back there. Walmart, Kohl's, Chick-fil-A, which I think I touted in the last video is probably the only fast food place that I'll eat. All right, we are off of 17 on the northern part of Mount Pleasant into Carolina Park. And Carolina Park is a mixed-use community that has been developed in the last couple of years. Actually came out of the ground right during the last real estate boom. Kind of got caught up by things, but it is back in full go now. And you can see they're starting to build back here again. There's, four big builders out here, Ryland, Saucy Burbank, David Weekley's building out here, and Sable Homes, I believe, is the other main builder. You can still buy some lots out here, but most of it's being developed by, these larger production builders. This area is set up to have commercial built into it, which they're starting to work on. They have a church back here. It's going to tie into Wando High School. So, kids will be able to ride their bicycles to get to Wando. And Wando, for those of you who haven't done the research yet, Wando High School is typically in the top 15 public high schools in the United States. If you're looking for schools, even if you don't have kids, it's always important, I think, to factor schools into the equation, because at the end of the day, you're going to have to resell your home, or somebody's going to have to, and it helps to have good schools as a backdrop, and Mount Pleasant does have that. But I like Carolina Park. I think it's been very well received over the last year and a half. New construction demands in Mount Pleasant are pretty high. You know, it's further away from Charleston. You're probably 25 minutes to 30 minutes to downtown Charleston from here. It would take you less than 15 minutes to get to the beaches on Isle of Palms. And the truth of the matter is, you know, a lot of this out here in North Mount Pleasant, there's so much out here now that it's not as big of a deal as it was maybe 5-10 years ago, or certainly when I first moved to Mount Pleasant. I mean, there was nothing out here. So living out here, you've kind of got all the things you need. You've got plenty of grocery stores, you've got doctor's offices, medical facilities. The new Roper Hospital is out right by where we are right now. So again, you know, a lot of things out this way. We're seeing a lot of people from Boeing end up here, and people, again, moving here with kids and without kids are choosing this. They even have a 55+ community, which is, you know, there's not that many in the Charleston area, but they've got a 55+ community they're building as part of Olde Park. It's a pretty good value for Mount Pleasant. At the time we're shooting this video, those homes are in the $250,000 to $300,000 range for the retirement community. As you can see straight ahead, the amenity center they just built, and this amenity center will serve most of the residents in Olde Park. It's got some water features, got some play park stuff, and, you know, just a place to kind of hang out. That kind of gives us an idea, you know, as we've driven around through Olde Park, you know, what's out here. There's a lot left to be built, but it's definitely on a solid footing. Houses are selling at a pretty good rate, and if you guys are, you know, going to work with a builder, I highly recommend that you use an agent that is not an agent for the builder. Keeping in mind the agent's builder is to represent the builder. He's going to, you know, honestly, a lot of times they're going to tell you they can't discount this, they can't discount that, or prices are fixed or set at a certain number. Truth of the matter is, in dealing with builders, there's a lot of negotiation that you can do. It just takes a little bit more time, and I always recommend in dealing with the builders is to stretch things out. The more you elongate the negotiation process with these builders, the better off you're going to be. Sometimes you can wear them down a little bit. A lot of houses are selling closer to ask than what they were in the past, and building costs have gone up. That all is true, but a lot of times you definitely want somebody that's not drinking the Kool-Aid, more or less, that the builder's feeding you. So I recommend, whether it's me or another agent, is that you have a buyer's agent to help represent your interest as you work with a builder or work with any kind of seller for that matter, but especially with builders. All right, before we head into our next neighborhood, which is Dunes West, we're cutting through Park West. Park West and Dunes West, no relation besides West being their last name. Like I'd said earlier, the town of Mount Pleasant very smartly bought up a bunch of land. This is land they have owned for some time. It's very big on green space and recreational fields, a lot of ball fields. You know, some of the best soccer teams in the Southeast or you know, club teams are in Mount Pleasant. Lacrosse has really taken hold in the last couple of years. And all this area that we're in and around right now is public land. You can come out here and use it. You can come out and run on the track. I take my two sons out here and try to run some energy out of 6-year-olds. They love the track. We have a good time out here. Again, baseball, soccer field, volleyball and basketball courts, an indoor swimming pool back here. There's a lot of things inside of this facility, and it's, you know, it's just part of, you know, honestly being a Charleston County resident, you're able to access this, but it's, you know, it's in Mount Pleasant. So if you're a Mount Pleasant resident, then you're able to get to it a lot easier. But really anybody that's visiting can come and, you know, use it as long as it's not being used, you know, for something organized. All right, y'all, we are heading into Dunes West. Dunes West is a country club neighborhood in North Mount Pleasant. It's one of the few gated communities in the area, and honestly, it's one of my favorite places to hit the golf ball, and it's a great place if you're a hack like I am to play the game because the fairways are so wide. Behind the gates, you know, it's a mix of price points. Probably the least expensive, you know, house back behind the gates is probably in the high threes. Most of the homes probably, you know, price points probably in the 5 to 6s as a median price range. And then there's, you know, certainly some $1 million houses plus back here. Fairly inexpensive club to belong to. At the time of shooting this video, it's only a couple $1,000s to join, and then it's, you know, it's a couple $100 a month. Depends on, you know, how much you use it too. But I think, you know, from taking people out, as many people as I take out from the Northeast and around the United States that end up down here, they're really pleased with the golf club fees. And we're going to ride through another golf club community here in a little bit called Rivertowne. But again, we're in Dunes West. It's an Arthur Hills golf course. It did host a PGA event. I guess it's been 20 years ago, but I think it was the Shell Open or something like that. And as I mentioned, nice wide fairways, easy golf course to play if you don't play a lot of golf. And I played out here a couple of weeks ago, and it was in really good shape. And they've got some new owners out here, and they've taken really good care of it. All right, so we're heading through here towards the clubhouse in Dunes West. A lot of beautiful oak trees, 100 plus years old. The Dunes West Golf Club is built on the ruins of the old plantation, and it's made to look somewhat aged in itself. They have dinners out here a couple nights a week. Mainly it's kind of a lunch and breakfast place. You can come out here and have a cold drink and overlook the creek. It overlooks Wagner Creek. They have weddings and all kinds of parties out here. A really good golf course. If you're a golfer and you come to Mount Pleasant, definitely check out Dunes West. All right, so we headed up from the country club in Dunes West to the Dunes West Homeowners Association Amenity Center. So here we have a small workout facility, and behind this building that's in front of us, we have a giant pool. So you have a pool with a really cool water slide and lots of cool water features. They have food service out here, very light food service, not like a full food service, but they do have food service during the season. They have a pool for people with no kids, so if you want to come hang out and you don't want to hear a bunch of screaming kids, you can come over here and use this. And then out in front of us, you can see the clay court tennis. Again, tennis is a very big part of the lifestyle in Charleston and certainly in Mount Pleasant. A lot of league tennis and a lot of tennis for kids and really any age group. I play a little bit of tennis. I've been told that the 3-5 and people who know anything about tennis know 3-5's above beginner stage, but it's not experts. There's a lot of 3-5 tennis in Mount Pleasant, and again, clay courts are really good as you age. A lot easier on your knees than hard court is. We're heading into kind of a sister community to Dunes West, which is Rivertowne Country Club. A lot of it was built in the late 90s, early 2000s. There's starting to be a lot more development back here. There was a lot of lots that set during the downturn and a lot of new construction being done in Rivertowne. You can see some of this through here. This is called the Tributary, these homes that kind of sit on the road, and they got a nice neoclassical look to them. And they've been selling like hotcakes. Looking through here, I mean, I look at the architecture and it's nice looking architecture, but it does sit right on this road. They are pouring a sidewalk on the other side through here, so it's gonna, I think, make it, a nice little walkable area, but it seems like if you had kids, I don't really think this would be a good stretch through here at the entrance to Rivertowne. Now, the other neighborhoods back in Rivertowne are really nice, and we're going to see these here in a second. There are several components to Rivertowne. There's Rivertowne on the Wando, which is straight ahead of us, which is down on the Wando River, and those homes are again, neoclassical style looking homes. Smaller, some of the ones on the river obviously bigger. The biggest component of Rivertowne is Rivertowne Country Club, which is what we're going into right now, and various subsections inside of Rivertowne, and a subsection is more or less a neighborhood inside a neighborhood. But Rivertowne is an Arnold Palmer designed golf course. It was built probably 15 years ago, and I believe from what I've been told, it was Arnold Palmer's first golf course design. To me, it's probably one of the better public golf courses in Mount Pleasant and in the Charleston area. It's a tough golf course. It's not as easy as Dunes West, which we were just riding through earlier. There's a lot of holes that you have to carry water and marsh and creeks, but it's beautiful and really fast greens. If you're a golfer, it runs anywhere from about 11 to 12 on the stemp meter, and that probably means nothing to half of you watching this, but if you're a golfer, you know that that's pretty quick for a golf course that's not set up for pros. And you can see as we ride through here, very green time of year, and even during the winter, they keep the fairways nice and green. As we progress through here, you will see over here to our right, we're going to kind of pull back here and take a real quick look at it, is Rivertowne Country Club. And Rivertowne Country Club is, I think it's a very affordable country club. It's several $1,000s to join. I think last time I checked it was about $3,500 to join. You can't see it from this video, but the back part of this clubhouse looks out onto the river and the marshes. It's very pretty vistas. They have food service, a restaurant in here, and again, the golf course is one of the better ones in the area. And you see all these homes over to the right. They're raised houses, low country style look. Some of it has a kind of a neoclassical look to it, and then some of it has varying degrees of architecture kind of melted in. A few lots left to build on the golf course, but a lot of this has been built out over the last couple of years as real estate has started to rebound. And home prices back here in Rivertowne vary from, at the time of this video, in the 300s all the way up to probably about 3 million. It just depends on what part of Rivertowne you're in. Rivertowne sits about, Probably 25 minutes or so to downtown Charleston, and you're less than 15 minutes to get to the beaches. Again, a good spot if you're going to be in North Mount Pleasant. A lot of people, this is one of the top places that they at least put on their short list initially to come back here and look. And again, it would depend on your price point as to probably what you would find. You are going to get more value in North Mount Pleasant than you're going to get, closer to the bridge, just because you're further out from Charleston, you're a little bit further from the beaches. But as I mentioned earlier in the video, it's not such a detraction to live out in North Mount Pleasant as it used to be, because there is so much to do out here, and the road systems have improved so much to get you in and around. I would definitely put Rivertowne, Dunes West, Park West, Carolina Park, on a short list if you were considering certainly new construction in Mount Pleasant. These areas would be good places in which to look, or looking for newer construction, because most of these homes were built in the last 10 years. All right, we've looked at a couple of neighborhoods in North Mount Pleasant. We're going to head back towards the foot of the bridge, and as we're passing through here, just want to point out what will be over to our right is Boone Hall Farms and Boone Hall Plantation. Boone Hall Farms and Plantation is the only functioning plantation in the United States. It still produces tea and rice and seasonal vegetables, and then they take it and they sell it in Boone Hall Farm store, which is right up the street from where we are. A lot of great produce. They have concerts out here, they have festivals, and it's really good use of land, and it's it's a benefit, I think, of living in Mount Pleasant to have this to access seasonally. As we've gotten off 17, we're on Long Point Road. Long Point Road connects Highway 17 with Interstate 526. 526 will take you straight to the airport. We're just cutting through here to get over to another neighborhood, Olde Park, which we'll look at here in a minute. Right over to our left is Snee Farm Country Club. Snee Farm Country Club is the oldest country club in Mount Pleasant, and it is a very good. It's a private golf course, and again, not too expensive to join. I think dues or initiation fees are, I think, $3,000 or $4,000. But very nice golf course, and the neighborhood itself sets up very well for those wanting more land in Mount Pleasant, because this was built, Snee Farm Country Club was built in the 70s and 80s. They were building it on bigger lots. So if you're looking to purchase in Mount Pleasant and you want to be more centrally located, this Snee Farm Country Club is not a bad spot to be. We are cutting back towards the foot of the bridge in Mount Pleasant. You can see through the trees East Cooper Hospital. Again, one of the brand new hospitals that has been built in the last 5 years in Mount Pleasant. And it's really close to Olde Park, which is the neighborhood we're going to go in here in a second. All right, we are finishing up our driving tour of Mount Pleasant today by going in probably the nicest neighborhood in Mount Pleasant. It's called Olde Park, aside from the Old Village. And we didn't hit the Old Village this time. There's plenty of videos that I've shot in the past that are on the Old Village that would be comparable to this, but Olde Park is not really old. It was built probably in the early 2000s. These homes sit on more estate-sized lots, at least estate-sized lots in relation to what is in Mount Pleasant. But these homes, minimum square footage of about 2,500 feet. And there's about 150 or so home sites back here. Most of them have been built on. There's a few left. They're really expensive. Land back here is very expensive. I think the least expensive lot at filming of this video is about $450,000 for close to half an acre. The advantages of Olde Park are proximity to downtown Charleston. We're less than 10 minutes to Charleston, and we're less than 10 minutes to the beaches. This neighborhood, it also ties in to Ion, so they're kind of more or less sister neighborhoods, which is where we started earlier today, was in Ion. And we didn't shoot a whole lot of video in Ion today, but that is an area that we have done a lot on in the past, so you can watch some of our other videos if you want more information about that neighborhood, and even more information about Olde Park as we ride through it. We have some videos that are specifically for that. All right, guys, that wraps up our tour of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina today. Again, my name is Bob Brennaman with the Brennaman Group. If you have questions about the area, restaurants, schools, anything about lifestyle in Mount Pleasant, please feel free to give me a call at 843-345-6074, or you can always visit us on the web at charlestonproperty.net. Thanks so much, y'all.